Hi guys, today we are talking about something that can make people very happy and something that can also make people very angry. Yeah, that's right, we're talking about fashion collabs, baby. Fashion collaborations have been going on since like forever, like pretty much. But in the last couple of years it's been like pretty common for big brands to collaborate. And it can be a really exciting thing seeing like your two favorite brands or some of your favorite brands collaborating and making something great. But it can also be a really bad thing if your favorite brands collaborate and the collaboration is ass.
Oh my god!
By the way, I'm trying this for the second time because the last time I forgot to turn on my mic, so that was completely unusable. So we are doing this again. We are talking about fashion collaborations from the year 2022. And we're not talking about any collaborations, we are talking about the best or arguably some of the best fashion collaborations. So yeah, without losing any more time, let's get into it. And the first collaboration I'm talking about is something, if you haven't heard about this, you probably are living under a rock. Because it was so big and so like spread out over like all over social media basically, that it was pretty much impossible to miss. And of course my coffee machine. It's always when I record, the coffee machine starts up, I don't know why. You done? Thank you. It wasn't possible to miss the Gucci-Adidas collaboration. Okay. You either love it or hate it. Gucci is obviously pretty like out there and loud. A lot of colors obviously and a lot of logos and prints and all that stuff. But I gotta say it was a good collab. They had some nice pieces. Not something I would wear myself. They had some nice pieces. I think they called like the big sweatpants. I think they called it, what did they call it? I took some notes somewhere. Oh yeah, they called it the drill pants. Pretty cool pants, looked pretty cozy. And the track suits are pretty nice, I guess. Not something I would go crazy about or would buy, but it was decent. Obviously the biggest part of the collaboration were the shoes. They were pretty like popular. I still think they look pretty good. I like the, I think, pink and green pair and the red and I think red and brown. I really like those two. I think they made sense. The gazelles are pretty popular obviously with all the samba and gazelle hype. It made sense for them to take one of the more popular silhouettes and I think they did a good job. The collaboration made sense, it looked good, pieces are nice. It looked like Gucci and Adidas. When you're talking about a Gucci and Adidas collab, you imagine something like this. So yeah, I think it was a great collab, and even though I'm not the biggest Gucci fan, I still think the collaboration was pretty decent. Next up, something that, yeah, some of you also probably gonna hate and some of you will probably gonna love. The Dior Birkenstock collaboration. With all the hype of the Birkenstocks in the last couple years, 1 or 2 years, it was just a matter of time for some big brand to come up and take the opportunity to make something out of it. I personally think it was a great collab, but I think the average customer of Birkenstocks is not gonna pay attention to this collaboration. But I do think some of the Dior like people is willing to pay that price point for a pair of garden shoes. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, it was a great collab in my opinion. And now you have a great way to flex your 600-700 euro garden shoes on your grandparents. Congratulations. Alright, next up, something I think really cool. I'm talking about the Supreme Burberry collaboration. I'm not the biggest Burberry fan. I don't really like the all over pattern, you know, the Burberry pattern. I'm not the biggest fan of that. It's iconic, obviously. If you see the pattern, you immediately know it's Burberry. And Supreme actually did a pretty good job, like implementing the design, the Burberry pattern thing. They had some all over print jacket, obviously. They had the decks, the Supreme deck, which I think looked actually pretty nice. I would love to have one for my deck collection. I have a little deck collection and I think the Burberry one looked pretty cool. But I didn't care enough to buy it, if you know what I mean. They also had some hype behind it with their Burberry box logo. I think they had a Burberry box logo, right? Yeah, I think so. Otherwise, the all denim look looked pretty good. If I remember it correctly, that looked pretty nice. But not something I was super crazy about. I think it was a great collab. Supreme always managed to come up with like the craziest collaborations, and Supreme is probably the brand you know for collaboration. They had crazy collaborations in the past, and Supreme is for the general public not really in the spotlight anymore. It had a huge hype obviously, like 2013 to I don't know 2019, 2018, 2020, when people went crazy for like everything that was Supreme. Even I remember like every Thursday, or was it Tuesday drop day? Thursday or Tuesday? Am I dumb? Like every Thursday, 11:59, I was sitting in my office at my old job and was spamming the refresh button just to buy some shit from Supreme, like the dumbest shit imaginable. I still have most of the stuff like somewhere laying around, unused, but I just wanted it because it was Supreme. They had the dumbest fucking accessories and people just bought it, and I was spamming refresh just to buy some shit I never use, and I still couldn't get it most of the time. Like for the really hyped stuff, you could check out in like 30 seconds and you still wouldn't get it. It was crazy. And this level of hype that Supreme had was obviously peak. Like the peak hype of Supreme is over now. Like not many people care about it that much, but that's not a bad thing, I would say. If you run around with Supreme, you don't do it for the hype. I think you just do it because you like the brand, which, I don't know, makes it what it's supposed to be. Because like people paid crazy amounts for like a box logo shirt. For like 800, 900 euros you get a fucking t-shirt. I think there's still some resale value behind box logos, but not as much as it used to. Maybe like a couple euros more for most of them, I think. But you still can get like pretty cheap box logos now, so if you want one, you can get one easily, I think. So that hype is gone, but I don't really think that Supreme is lacking. I think the last things I've seen, the last lookbooks I've seen look actually great. I just don't really care enough to spend that money for, like, for example, a nice leather jacket. The pieces look great, but I'm not paying like 800 to 1200 euros for a leather jacket because I don't care that much. But the pieces are fine, the collaborations make sense, and Supreme is just doing their thing like they always did, but people don't really care that much, so people think it's dead. So I don't think Supreme is dead. I still think their collabs are like on point most of the time. Of course they're missing sometimes, but they have so many collabs they can't like hit on everything. So yeah, that's just my little rant about Supreme. I think they have some great stuff, and yeah, I'm rambling too much. Let's continue. So we were talking about Supreme, and now we talk about Stasi. And they had a big collaboration. I think when I first saw like the announcement, I was actually pretty interested, but I lost interest really, really quick because I think the pieces that they like put out were pretty uninteresting for me. I don't know. I'm talking about the Stasi Dries Van Noten collaboration, and I thought when I first read the announcement that it could be a really, really cool collaboration. They have some great designs and great pieces that could go together, you know. At the end of the day, they came up with a couple pieces that just didn't care about. I think they look okay. Like the jacket was, I think, the biggest thing. That was a college jacket. I pull up a picture somewhere. And it looked fine, but nothing I care about that much, you know. And they had some denims as well with a actually pretty nice idea with that spray. They had some spray design on it. And they had a Stasi spray like right at the ankle, I think, which looked pretty cool. But then they kind of fucked it up with like some flame sprays, which I think looked kind of goofy, so I didn't really care. And then they had the tie-dye shirts. They just took a Stasi shirt and did some tie-dye, you know, that shit that you do in middle school. I don't really care for that, to be honest, so I was just glancing over it. That was the collab for me. I think that the logo, like the combined logo of Stasi and Dries Van Noten, was okay, nothing special. They just combined the logo of Stasi with Dries Van Noten, like on the bottom, I think, which is kind of lazy. It's okay, it makes sense, but it wasn't really crazy, I think. So definitely a collab that wasn't, at least for me, maybe you liked it, but I didn't see one piece outside of the like promotion pictures. I didn't see one person wearing that jacket at all. I never saw the denim and the shirts. I never saw them anywhere on social media or outside. So I don't think it was the best collab. But I could be wrong. Maybe they did something for you. They didn't do for me. So yeah, we move on. All right. Next up, we are moving to something that I was pretty pissed about back when it released. I am talking about the Nike, Air Force, Louis Vuitton collaboration, which when I first saw the pictures, they looked absolutely amazing. I think they had some really nice designs. They had some like I didn't really like that much or didn't care that much. But like the all white pair, the all black pair, I even thought that with that gold pattern thing looked amazing. And I thought to myself, alright, if they pull up with a, I don't know, crazy retail price, people won't care. And here's why. If you make something this hyped and this anticipated and make it super limited as well, there is no way, and I mean no way, that anyone that really cares is going to wear that sneaker obviously, because people would just try to get them to resell. And that was exactly what happened. There is no shot that anyone with no Louis Vuitton connections, not a crazy amount of money or ridiculously high level of luck, was able to get that shoe or any shoe at that point. So they just resold for like tens, and I think I saw one going for like $230,000 US, which is absolutely insane. You can buy a pretty good house for that money. So obviously the hype was pretty big. There's still some people and big Louis Vuitton heads, Louis Vuitton collectors, that really just wanted the shoe for their collection. But I think most people that got them just resold them, which I think is a shame. At the end of the day, you're doing this collaboration for the like sneaker community, and I think it's a great thing that they do like a streetwear shoe. Like Air Force Ones are probably the most iconic like streetwear silhouette, or one of the most iconic. Everyone knows an Air Force One, and it's obviously pretty streetwear related. And then you combine it with something high fashion like Louis Vuitton. I think it's just a great thing that I think we're at the point with fashion where we can just combine different styles and different like genres of fashion. For example, you can pull something like streetwear and put it together with high fashion or with avant-garde or something, and it just works like most of the time. So I think the collaboration was a great thing. It was just poorly executed. There was no way you can get them. I don't know, I didn't really care that much, and you don't really see any of the shoes outside of collectors or like in shoe stores like displayed. Or on fashion shows. Sometimes you see them on some Louis Vuitton fashion shows when people pull up with them. But yeah, it was just a good collab, but I think the execution was meh. It's just how it is, I guess. We move on. Alright, now we're moving on to something that most of you will probably like don't know about or don't really care. But I think it was just a great collab and I really want to talk about it. I'm talking about Loewe and Studio Ghibli collaboration. I found out that they have two parts. I think they had two parts, one part last year and one part this year. But I'm talking about last year's collaboration, or part one of the collaboration, because it was the first one. I'm not gonna talk about it for super long, I just wanna like mention it. I think the pieces look absolutely beautiful. That's anime history, you know, and if you're a fan and you have money, you will probably want to have one or two pieces. Obviously they were super expensive because it was Loewe, and they also were super limited, so there wasn't the biggest chance that you were able to get some of the pieces, I think. But I just saw a video in the morning when I woke up on TikTok that there will be another Studio Ghibli collaboration with Levi's, and the pieces look incredible, and it's dropping on the 10th of August, and I'm actually super hyped. I think the jacket looks insane, but I mean that's not something for this video because we're talking about like 2022 collaborations. But I think the beanie of the 2022 collaboration looks absolutely beautiful, and I think the scarf, there's one scarf I just fucking love, but I think it was part of the 2023 collaboration. But overall, I love when brands do stuff with anime. I mean, I'm maybe a bit biased because I love anime, but I think anime is now at a peak hype. So I hope to see some nice collaborations in the future with some big brands, nice projects. Because back in like a couple years back, people didn't really, like the general public didn't really care about anime all that much. So I think big brands just didn't really bother to make something out of it. Of course, we had the Supreme Akira collab, which was absolutely crazy. I'm super pissed that I wasn't able to buy like any pieces back then because I didn't really have any money. But I really wanted the hoodie and the shirts, and basically I think they had a deck and they had some other pieces. Crazy pieces, beautiful pieces, and they're now pretty hard to come by. But other than that, I don't really know about a lot of anime collabs, like good anime collabs. But I hope to see more of stuff like this in the future, and I think we will. So I think we will see some nice collaborations. I mean, we had the Adidas Dragon Ball Z collab. We have some shoe collabs with anime, like Dragon Ball. We had Vans One Piece. And I think we had some Demon Slayer with, what brand did the Demon Slayer thing? Something I don't really care about. The shoes look absolutely horrible.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
But I do think we will have some great collaborations coming up in the future. I hope so, at least. And now we are at the last collaboration of this list. By the way, if you're still watching, I highly appreciate you. And if you like the video so far, maybe just leave a like and a comment. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to do more fashion uploads and vlogs and stuff. So if you like the content, maybe consider staying. I would highly appreciate it. And yeah, I'm doing the YouTube thing now. I'm begging for likes and comments and subscription, you know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We have one more collaboration coming up. By the way, I took the list from, I think Jxln did a tier list of collaborations because I couldn't really remember. I mean, I could remember most of them when I read about them. But sometimes when you just think about it and you think it was years ago, but it was just last year. I think the pandemic really fucked up my feeling for time spans, if you know what I mean. However, we have one more collaboration, and it's the collaboration between Moncler and Jxln. I hope I did not butcher the name. If I did, I'm sorry. I didn't really know about the designer first, but I remember when I saw the first pictures of this collaboration, I think someone showed it to me, and I think it looked absolutely incredible. They had took the puffer jacket hype at that time and just made something really special out of it. So the camera just decided to stop recording because I think my SD card is packed and there's no space left, so I had to delete something, but I have to be super quick now so it doesn't run out of space again. I was talking about the Moncler collaboration. I don't know what I already said. I think the collaboration looked great. I love when brands do crazy takes on simple pieces like a puffer jacket, but I have to wrap this up now. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want more, just let me know. Also, if you can, please subscribe and comment. If you want a video about bad collaborations, I would love to make something like this because there were horrible collaborations in the past. So yeah, I think that's it for the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.